Hi everyone, and welcome to yet another Transformers review with me and my dad here.
Hey y'all, good to see y'all. How y'all been? I hope y'all been okay and everything's going alright. Today we're going to be taking a look at something that y'all have seen before, but it's not what you think. And y'all will see when we turn the camera around. So,
and like y'all saw that my dad just hold up here, this is Perceptor.
This is the newest one. Y'all will see here in a minute what we're talking about. Hey, how have y'all been? Y'all been okay? Y'all, I'd like to apologize. It's taken us a little while to download some of these videos. We have some strange stuff going on, so we're trying to get it sorted out as quick as we can.
Right.
I think that there's complications on our end as far as downloading, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but we're trying to get to the bottom of it, and we will. And we will. So I'd just like to say, I know it's been a little while. Me and Colton, we're finding out what's going on, why it's taking so long. So anyway, well, this character we got at the past Comic-Con.
Yeah. No. Do you mean like today's Comic-Con?
The Comic-Con from that we participated in Beaumont.
Yeah.
So
from October.
Yes, he's right.
Which was last month.
Yes.
Because today we're in
November.
So,
like I said, this is a review. It's not what you think it kind of is, but y'all see when we turn the camera around here in a minute. Like I said, it's been a little while, and we got some downloading issues, and we're trying to get it figured out. I think that, anyway, not getting real technical off into it. So we do have other stuff to still download and stuff like that to get it on the channel that's already done. So y'all just bear with us. We will get this straightened out.
I did to do one video, which is in the middle of downloading, all by myself without my dad.
Yeah, for some reason it wants to cut out and stuff like that, and there's some other issues going on. So we just got to bring in, check with somebody else to see what's going on. So anyway, enough of that. We're going to get on to the review, but I do want to say I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody's doing well. The seasons have changed. Slow down. The seasons have changed, and now we're going from fall. Won't be long to be winter. What else? So, don't know if we're going to see any snow this year. We're just going to wait and see. Down here, it doesn't snow that often as what it does in other places.
And I actually like the cold a little better than the heat.
Really, when the seasons change where we're at, it's actually a, I don't want to say congratulations, it's a welcomed event, because down here where we're at, it gets really, really hot.
Yes.
And when we get the first hint of fall, it's like relief. But, you know, you are where you are, and we all got things to deal with, wherever we're at. Be it rain, be it snow, be it hurricanes. Anyway, enough of that. Hey, we're going to get on to the review. We appreciate y'all. And thank you for being patient with us. We're trying to get this sorted out as quick as we can. And we will. So, thank you for being patient with us. And now, with all that said, we're going to get back to this guy right here. And now we're going to turn the camera around and we'll show y'all what we're talking about.
Stay tuned.
Hey, we're back. And I told y'all that this was going to be a little different. Well, guess what it is? And I'm going to let Colton roll on.
So, this Perceptor that we're going to be reviewing here is the original G1 Perceptor toy.
He is correct. This is the original G1 Perceptor.
And the other one you saw from the intro was the new Perceptor that was part of the Studio Series line.
Right. Now, back in the 1980s, when you purchased a Perceptor, this is what he looked like, and this is what you got in the 1980s. This is the original Perceptor that actually was in a commercial back in the 1980s. They did have a commercial with this Perceptor with, I believe it was also Optimus Prime. I think so. I could be wrong. It's been a long time ago. So this Perceptor, he transforms into a microscope.
Yes.
But the head sculpt is not what you would think as what we've seen in Transformers the movie. That was his head sculpt.
In toy form.
Yes.
Because this is from a Diaclone figure.
No, this is from the other toy line. Remember, there was two toy lines. This guy come from the other toy line, not Diaclone, but the other one.
Yes. Microman.
Yes. It's like Micro Change, Microman.
Or Micro Change.
Micro Change, I believe. Anyway, with that said, this is, like I said, this is the Perceptor that you would get instead of what you've seen in Transformers the movie from the 1980s.
Yes.
Because this is what he looked like. So, with that said, I'm going to let Colton take Perceptor out the way. We'll take a closer look at him here in a minute. And what we're going to focus on is this G1 box. Because if you look at the Perceptor of this action figure here, if you noticed, there's some color variations.
Yes.
His head is black. What they're showing on the box is red.
There's the box artwork of...
Ooh, that's awful close.
and the glare is kind of hard to see because he does have some chrome on his chest.
So that right there is one variant, and I never seen a red Perceptor. Not to say that they didn't have it, but these were some of the variation colors that was conflicting, because on the box it's showing one thing, but when you get the toy, it's something else. When you get the action figure, it is something else, and the colors ain't quite right with the box compared to the figure.
Right.
So, with that said, I'm going to let Colton take him out the way, and we'll take a look at the box. And I got some bios, and I always do bios on G1 original figures. So this way, y'all know what kind of personality this robot, Autobot or Decepticon, has, where he fits into the storyline. Now, another fun fact is, when we got this box, I have to get Colton to show y'all. I don't know how well it's coming in. There it is.
There it is.
You could purchase this figure
There it
back
is.
at that time for $15.99.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. I wanted to leave that sticker on there because that's what it cost back then. Was $15.99. Anyway, to get a 1980s original Perceptor.
And also, Playland, that was a real toy store.
It had to be somewhere. I do not know where Playland was at. We never had a Playland down here. So I don't know where this figure was purchased in the box. Okay? That was a long time ago. It had to be over 30 years ago, if not more, 40 years ago. I don't know. Yeah, you might as well say about definitely 44 years ago. Anyway, so while we're taking a look at the box, like I said, there's a couple of things that they did here in the box that's unique. So they have different parts, and also a lot of people don't know, but this one Autobot right here was almost like a triple changer, because he converted from robot to microscope, but he had one more mode if you wanted to put him in it, but it wasn't highly talked about. So therefore the only two modes people really know for Perceptor is the robot mode and the microscope mode, but there was a third mode.
Yeah. Just like the Studio Series version.
Right.
And I think I have transformed the Studio Series in its third mode.
So I'm gonna have to help my son out with transforming this Perceptor, because he knows mostly about it, but I'm going to help him through it. But anyway,
Yes.
We're going to take a look at the box.
Here's the top here showing you how he transforms. And this box here is not the reissue box. This is the original box.
This is the original.
Because you can tell by the way it is.
And right there at the bottom it has Autobot Scientist Perceptor.
And there it says Transformers.
Heroic Autobot. More than meets the eye.
And on this side you have another picture of Perceptor in both modes, except his third mode.
Right, we'll get off to that here in a minute.
And the other side, the exact same. And the bottom here,
Which I don't know what that is. I don't.
it does have these two things here.
Okay. It's showing that it does magnify.
Oh, yeah.
It magnifies 14, what does it say, 14 times. This is the first time I've ever seen this. I never really looked at the bottom until you just flipped it over.
Do you remember seeing these on the box here of Perceptor?
No, I never did turn upside down the box, no. I didn't. This is a G1 box. It's just, we never did look at the bottom. If we did, we was just kids. We didn't pay that much attention.
And the back, you do have Perceptor's
BIOS
BIOS here.
and his tech specs. Now,
And also his function here. His function is one's.
I got it. I'm going to cover that in his bios. I got it. This right here, I do want him to scroll over here. Now you see this? This is his tech specs. We're going to get off into that here in a minute more when he takes the stuff out of the box.
Because we do have something for this.
Zoom out. Now, this right here is the original artwork for that time. What's on the back of the box? And it's just like I remembered. All that scene right there. And if you notice, Trax is a different color. Trax is red. He's not blue. Now, if y'all remember in the recent video that we done a couple of videos ago, Trax was blue. In here, they have Trax as red. Because that right there, I believe, was his original color before he come to America through Diaclone, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I think I'm more correct on that. This right here is Grimlock. I'm showing just transformation, and then it's kind of weird because you have Grimlock here with an Insecticon with kickback, but that's his face showing. And then you have a
deluxe Insecticon.
There you go. Who's Venom?
That which is Venom.
I believe that's Venom.
It is.
And then you have some more Dinobots right here. So this is more or less like a big war between Dinobots and Insecticons. And then you have Shockwave up here. So that is some of the original artwork you would get when you buy the 1980s Transformers original box. This right here, I wanted to get a little shot right there. That was cut out. That right there is a mail away. That they told you how many points in Autobot symbol or Decepticon, and you would take these off of the box and you would mail them away to get like Omnibots or some type of mail away deal, such as Reflector. So yes, did that in the 1980s.
You even did that in the 1980s?
I never did. I got to ask your uncle if he did. I don't remember. I don't remember if we mailed away anything. I think one time we mailed away for a G.I. Joe deal. But anyway, as far as Transformers, I do not remember. So anyway, that's cool. And while Colton is fixing to take the stuff out of the box, I'm going to run past the bios right quick. Perceptor. His saying, one's ultimate truth lies in one's molecule structure. Regardless of what he's doing, the main thing Perceptor seeks out is any activity is knowledge. He tries to turn anything into a scientific exercise that can help him learn even more about the fascinating universe around him. He has a tendency to break everything down into dry facts. Perceptor's main fault is being too focused on his work. He rarely finds time to break away from his studies, to take part in social activities with his comrades. For Perceptor, his work is his play. His abilities. The most powerful asset is his amazing intelligence. He is one of the most brilliant scientific minds on Cybertron. Scientist on metals, chemistry, electrical engineering, and much, much more. His weakness is he focuses too much on work. So that, and if you remember some of the talk and lingo that Perceptor gets into, kind of the Autobots are like, just tell us in basic terms what you mean. Don't try and break it all down into a scientific exercise to try and explain this to us. Just break it down in simple terms so we can understand it, so we can go deal with it. So, and y'all seen that in some of the cartoons. Y'all see how Perceptor is. Okay, that's pretty much his bio. So, what he has, Colton has right here, is a checklist.
Or it could, like, I guess you can say, like a poster, if you can call it.
You could put it up as a poster, or people have done that back then. People did do that. And some people just use this for a checklist. And this is some of the earlier stuff that was out with Transformers. Before any other season come in. The 4th season, the 3rd season, you know, this is some of the original stuff. And there is a poster that's some of the Dirge, Ramjet, Kickback, Megatron, and some of the other stuff. Soundwave, Shockwave, the Triple Changers, the cassettes. Yep. There's the poster right there. That was one of the posters that they had in there. Yep. Now, Colton was getting off into this. That is a Transformer book to show you how to transform.
Or the instructions here.
The instructions.
To show y'all how to transform him.
Now, when I looked at this guy, it did not dawn on me that I always seen treads. And I didn't know what in the world are the treads there for. We'll get off into that here in a minute. Show them the book right quick. You already did?
Yeah, I already did.
Okay, we can put it to the side. Show them. I'm going to go get the other Perceptor we have. Turn this around and show them with the tech specs.
And this is where we bring in this red thing here. Because if you remember what my dad said, that there is something you can do with these readers here. So he does have a readout to see what his strength, intelligence, speed, endurance, rank, courage, firepower, and skill is on here. But as you can see, it is kind of hard to see that blue line, because it is there, but if you want to see it without using this, you will have to kind of zoom in really close to see that blue line. Like here, you could barely see it there.
With the red?
But with this red thing here, if I put it up to here, now you can see it right there. So if I remove it, you can't see it, but if I put it up to here, now you can.
Yes, it's kind of like a decoder.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a decoder, gives you the text and specs and everything else. Let's see here. What they did with the newer boxes is that it's not as vibrant. It's easier to take what tech specs they are because everything's more brighter now. You can actually see the blue line. Where in the 80s you had to use that red decoder film to actually see what the stats were for that character.
Yes.
So.
And also, I do want to like read his like function here,
Okay.
which is like here.
Okay. I mean, go ahead.
So his function is scientist, and at the bottom it says, one's ultimate truth lies in one's molecular structure. It was kind of hard to read that word for me. Because I couldn't like see it really close. But if I zoom the camera in, now I can kind of read it a little better.
So, that is awesome. That is different. When we seen this, actually, when I saw this at the store, I didn't understand what in the world I was looking at. I knew it was an Autobot, but I'm like, how in the world? It didn't. Optimus Prime made more sense than what this guy did to me. I'm like, okay, that's a Transformer. That's a weird looking Transformer. He's got tracks on him. Why does he have tracks on him? I'm like, he's supposed to be a microscope. Well, microscopes don't move unless you move them. But I was wrong. The way that they had it figured in their mind was another mode, which was different. Before we actually knew anything of triple changers. Because this is right before Blitzwing and Astro Train come out.
Right.
And advertised here in America. Don't get me wrong, they were already here, but they wasn't in the they weren't in the line quite yet. They didn't merge. They weren't well known yet, but they were going to be, and then they were about a couple months after. So that is it. Colton, is there anything else you want to say on the box?
No.
Okay.
I think that is about it.
All right.
So let's get the box out of the way.
Now, before he brings in the new one, I want to show you all something. I just had to go get it. This is our old Perceptor.
Yeah.
Now, look at this guy and tell me if he hasn't had wear and tear and battle and all this other stuff. I forgot we even had him until I was like, oh, wait, I know what that is. So, looking at this guy right here, we got this part missing. We got the top part right here that we taped up. And, yeah, he just really had a bad day. He looks all kind of wore out, beat up. He's only got one panel. The other one is gone. There's no part to him. So, yeah. But even on this guy, back then, what I was saying, remember on the box, it was showing a red helmet, a red face. Here, black. There, black. So this is the way that you actually got the Perceptor compared to what was shown on the box. And we're going to bring in the new Perceptor. Well, not the, no. That one right there. Yep.
And here's the newer Perceptor.
Yeah, the more pristine one that's not all beat up.
Yes, that.
So I just wanted to show y'all, even back then, and I remember having this when we were, kids and stuff like that. This is exactly what you would buy. There was no alteration in color that I'm aware of. So anyway, we're going to move him out the way. We're going to work on transforming this guy together, me and Colton, because I'm not sure if he actually understands, because this guy right here, he could be kind of complex in transformation if you're not really aware of how stuff goes on him. All right.
But before we get to the transformation, of course, we need to take a look at the details here. Like the sculpting and the details, and also the paint jobs on him. Real quick. So let's get a closer look here at the head sculpt, which of course it is not the Perceptor head, but from another toy line, which was micro.
Yeah, micro change, and you had Diaclone. Those two lines. So anything that looked more like not a vehicle, that looked actually like a real working Walkman or whatever, come from one line. So this come from one line, not the Diaclone. This come from another line that intermerged with another line to make Transformers.
Yes.
That's why the scale's so different.
But it does look like a really nice head sculpt here, even though it doesn't look like Perceptor from the cartoon. Mm-hmm. It still does look like a nice head sculpt on the toy here. Got the nice silver paint for the mouth plate, silver paint on the head crest, yellow on the eyes. Of course, you do have some chrome on the chest, mm-hmm. which still does hold up after all these years,
yep.
Unlike
yep.
this
mm-hmm.
here.
Yep, his chrome still looks pretty chromy. Yep.
Cause we did bought this at Comic-Con.
Yeah, we bought this at Comic-Con, and I saw the condition and stuff like that, and it was worth getting. And there's a story behind Perceptor, because I knew we had an old beat up one. Because when we got this Perceptor, our first one, he was already beat up. So it's like, okay.
The side view here, which does have some sticker detail here. Some chrome here on these little rotating knobs.
That's what they're supposed to be, yes. That's some of the stuff that they have, but it's they don't work. They
yes.
don't work. They're just there in place.
Because this is a toy, yeah. Not a real working microscope.
Right. So you have stickers on his legs. The stickers still look good after all these years.
Yes.
So that tells you that it's been well taken care of. They're not coming off, not trying to peel off.
And here you do have the heat signature or the rub symbol, which we'll see if it'll work here.
Right. So anyway, with this guy right here, he's got some beat up on him. He's got some wear and tear. But this was our first Perceptor, and the only Perceptor we had when we was kids. So anyway,
I got it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what it looked like. You ready? Oh, yeah, dude. It's all right.
I did have it.
It's all right. It's all right.
Well, he is an Autobot, because
Yes.
he has an Autobot symbols all around.
And you know what? Let me do something right quick. I just recognized it. Let me see here. This is the exact way his legs need to be. I forgot when I had him in the box. I did that to keep him in the box. Y'all, that's the way his legs need to be. I knew something wasn't looking right when I was like, that's not right. So anyway.
That's what I also had in my head. I also knew something wasn't right.
Yeah, these stickers have to be facing out, so this way he has a knee bend. The way it was before, he couldn't bend his knee. I knew something looked out of place. Anyway, go ahead.
And some sticker detail here on his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And going to the back here. And of course, you do have his like little shoulder cannon, but it is, of course, the
Yes, the microscope part, the microscope, the lens to the. I've seen this both ways in the cartoon. He has shot stuff out of his microscope, and then he also used it to microfy or home in on something that he's looking at. So, as you want to take the Canon or his microscope, either way's right.
And here you can like kind of see through that little white circle there. Yeah. You can. But it is like a small little...
A small lens.
Yes.
To look through. So, that's pretty much it for his... And now it's just the articulation.
Yeah.
Now, for the G1s, this G1 actually has quite a good bit of articulation compared to some of the other G1s.
That we've reviewed here. But for his articulation, arms can rotate all the way around, bend at the elbow, legs do not move forward and back, but they can move in and out. You do kind of have like a thigh swivel.
Right.
He does have knee joints.
Now, knee joints back then for G1 was really good. If you had knee joints, you had a good Transformer.
Yeah.
Because most of them were just blocks. So.
And that's it.
Yeah, the head does not rotate. Now, the head can go up and down, but that's due to transformation.
Right.
There's no waist articulation. Like I said, the Perceptors that we have today is way beatable with this, compared to what we had. We had to use a lot of imagination.
Yes.
Compared to today, where everything's set on ball joints, pins, and rotating, and rotators, and all this other stuff. We just had a brick with very limited movement. But it transformed, and that's what inspired us. Because it could go from one thing to another. So.
And he does come with some accessories. Because, like y'all saw in the unboxing video, he does come with some guns. And here's the first gun that he has. Mm-hmm. Just a solid red gun here. Mm-hmm. And but on one side here, as you can see, it is a little hollow.
It's a little hollow. That was common for their weapons. One side was filled in, the other one was hollow.
And you can't have him hold it.
Now, this Perceptor, back then in the earlier years of Transformers, they actually had stuff like this that were spring-loaded that would shoot out. But due to the stipulations of the 1980s, and adults were scared that, that could get lodged down a kid's throat or something like that and to create a choking hazard, they took the springs out. But we still got this in America. So what you had to do was you had to make believe this is his rocket that goes in there.
And he does come with 3 of these. So you just insert it here.
Mm-hmm. And what would happen is if this was somewhere else, you would push on this button, this lever, and it would shoot out. But there's no spring in there. It's just a catch grab.
Right.
So that little clip right here, that you can't see because my big fingers are in the way. That little catch right there. It's got a little catch in here. And when you put it in there, it would already hit the back spring. Which there's no spring in here. And then you press it and it would shoot out.
But this does not do that.
Nope, this does not do that, just like a lot of the other Transformers. If you had one that was spring, that still had the spring in there, that was by mistake. That was by mistake because that spring should not be in there. Where I think today it's changed, I think that they do have springs in them again. I could be wrong. I don't know. So that is pretty much him armed up and looking all Perceptor-y. Now,
and also to do a little size comparison.
There you go.
Here is the original Perceptor.
Right.
The G1 Perceptor compared to the new Perceptor, which is the Studio Series version.
Right. And both of them look good. But I have to admit, this guy looks a lot better. He has
Yes.
more articulation, more just spot on the way he looked in the movie compared to this Perceptor.
Yes.
But if I'm right, and y'all help clarify me, if I'm right, they released the toy line before the cartoon, so therefore they didn't know exactly, something got switched. They didn't know exactly, okay, this is Perceptor, but this is the way they made him look in the cartoon compared to what you actually got. So it's glad to see the updates and the final version of what he should look like compared to what we had, because this took a lot of imagination to get from this to that.
Yes.
But I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened. But just remember, if you want to know the origins of where Perceptor come from, it was this guy. This was point zero. And then everything else followed after that.
And also, if you remembered what I said in our kickback then and now video, in order to think about the future, you have to think about the past first. Right?
How to make it better, more mobile, more articulated, more everything compared. Now look, if you noticed, this is just an example. See what they did here? That's G1. That's the treads on the legs. They kept the same design. That's the treads. That's the treads.
Yes.
They didn't change it. They kept the treads in because of his third mode. And they both can pivot the same way. So, but this one's got a hands down better articulation than this one here. And that's okay.
So I'm gonna get this guy out of the way and get to the transformation of Perceptor here. G1 Perceptor.
1984 G1 Perceptor, I believe.
Yes, it is. Okay, so to transform him, just gonna remove his weapons off first. You want to take his hands here and push them in
And they'll be on the slider.
on these sliders here.
Oh, I also forgot to mention there is die-cast in this guy.
Oh,
I
yes.
forgot to mention that. And just looking at it just hit me. There is die-cast in this guy, and we're fixing to show you where the die-cast metal is at. As all these G1s, a lot of them had die-cast metal. Not overly crazy with die-cast, but they did have it. Okay, let me see here. I am going, give me that gun. Yep, that little, Perceptor gun. This is die-cast. Here, and here.
The waist part, but not the middle part here.
Right.
Just these two things here.
Yes.
And also this black part
Right.
all around here.
Yep. All this right here is die-cast. This frame right here. Yep. This, that, this is die-cast. That's die-cast. And pretty much the whole outside frame. This is die-cast.
The whole
Black.
around his chest.
Yes. Yep. That's die cast right there. And I got my fingers in the way again. Right there.
Yes.
That is die cast. So, I just wanted to show that right quick, and now we can get on with transformation.
Okay. So take his hands, push them in, and you do want to straighten out his elbows and rotate his arms up and take these black things and flip them out.
Yes.
Well,
Okay. What you going? There you go.
well, but before you move his arms up, you do want to come to the back and rotate this wheel
Down.
down,
Yeah.
which will push down his head.
But you have to go pretty hard.
But you do need.
See, there you go.
There you go.
You just push it down.
And to slide it back up, you do want to
Yes.
rotate this wheel up,
Right.
which will kind of
It will raise his head back up.
Then you want to take the microscope part and bring it up so it looks like this. Then move his arms up so they look like this. Then you want to come to his chest here and open it up. Then take this part and...
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Well, do you...
Hold on, big guy. Hold on. Let me see here. Go ahead and zoom out some. Okay. Alright, before this chest needs to go back up, this part right here, this little bitty square, needs to come down first.
Okay.
Okay? Then the chest needs to come down, just like that.
Okay.
Now, his arms go in.
Like compress in.
Correct. Compress in. Then, after that, this sits in a groove that's in his hands.
These do not tap together on this microscope.
Well, they do, but sometimes it's just loose. They'll pop back out real easy, so I'm not even going to worry about it. So, now, what do you think the next thing to do?
Take the
Okay.
microscope part.
Hold on. Look at the legs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those legs had to be folded out and out.
Out.
There you go.
And
Rotate. There you go. Now,
so that the joint is facing this way.
Right.
Which is the knee joint.
Right. Bend
And
it.
bend it this way.
Yes. Yes.
Rotate the knee around so it looks like this.
Right.
And flip down the feet.
Now, wait, you're forgetting one more thing. And a bunch of people forget about this. If you're not paying attention. Exactly. You just pointed to it.
But this thing here, which is...
No. Are you pointing towards the wheel?
Yes.
Okay. For this, for the G1 Perceptor, he had one more step to go in there into the mode, and I'm going to get it out right now. That's it. That little part comes out and it extends, and I'll show y'all why here in a minute. So go ahead and transform this leg just like you got that one there. There you go. There you go, big guy. Okay. Now, take it. No, you literally have to put your fingernail in there and pull it out. Okay.
trying to
All right.
to be careful,
Okay.
not to
I got you.
break my nails.
Yeah. All right.
These are sometimes kind of hard to slide out.
I'm gonna get it. Well, I say I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Here. Have them look at that one. I'm just gonna get it. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Don't worry about it. I don't know why this one's so hard to come out. It used to not be that tough. Because I got them out before. Yeah, there it is. I knew I just had to work with it. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
It is sometimes kind of hard to slide these out.
Yeah, see if those will slide down right quick. They should come out with no problem.
This one does.
That one does?
Easy. And this one does.
That one does?
Easily.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, that was a little tricky there, but we got it done. Okay.
And then I think you can kind of take the
Yes.
microscope part and just point it down.
Yep.
And there you have Perceptor in his microscope mode.
Right. And his microscope mode really holds up good and together when he's brand new. But
Yes.
he's been taken well kept, as much as he could and can. So I am very glad to have him. As far as the G1, I'm not going to go off too much into the other mode quite yet. Let me see if I can get this guy transformed in this other mode, which, well, you really can't do it with this guy because he don't have his microscope on him. Anyway.
And for features that he can do in his microscope mode, you can rotate this knob around, which will slide down the lens here.
Right, it'll slide down the lens. That is for magnification. That's what they're talking about. If you put something like this right there, then you can actually look at it, and it's like a supposed to be real microscope back then, which I don't even know if they use these things today. I don't know. So, with all technology and stuff like that, give me that instruction book right there. That instruction book? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Let me just see something. Okay.
And giving y'all a little 360 rotation of his microscope mode.
Right. And as far as his third mode, it's very simple. It is basically just taking him, pretty much bending him down, pretty much, and there you have something that is not working correctly. And it just fell. So,
What you should do is rotate these around.
there you go.
And you do want to rotate these around as well, so that the wheels are facing down
Yes, sir.
like this. And you could see the tank treads here.
Yes, sir.
And that is his third mode.
Yes. And even they kept this in, and you got it, man. You got it. Even this Perceptor has this same mode.
Yes.
So they kept it in from the very G1 till now.
Which I think I have transformed the new one here in this mode. I think I have, because I'm trying to like remember if I did that on this new Perceptor, because it's been a while.
It's been a little while
Since I messed with this new Perceptor.
Right.
But it is on my channel.
Right.
This new Perceptor, the Studio Series 86 Perceptor.
Yep. And this was, what, 84? 84.
Yes.
86. Well, let's put it this way. This is what he's supposed to look like in a cartoon. This is what we got.
Yes. Back then.
Back then. So, with that said,
we could like get to our final thoughts.
yes, sir. If there's anything else that you want to add, is there anything else you want to say about them?
No.
Okay.
I think that's about it. So, I guess we'll get to our final thoughts.
So we'll see y'all here in a minute.
So, there you have the review of Transformers Generation 1 Perceptor.
Right, Perceptor, and he always got wrapped up in his work. He always wanted to find out more knowledge. He's very knowledgeable on a bunch of stuff, as far as scientific and anything else. Pretty much, I mean, he is the go-to guy when there is any kind of ailment or anything that needed to be looked at almost scientifically. He was the man to go to. You could see him a lot of times with Blaster. That was like one of their. Those two were pretty much buddies in the cartoon. They pretty much helped each other out and stuff like that. So it was to see what happened with him in the 1980s Transformers movie was awesome. None of us was expecting that. The way that his role played into a lot of the 1980s Transformers, the movie cartoon, animated movie, was awesome. But when we got him from the 1980s, he didn't look anything like this guy. When you bought Perceptor, you didn't get him. You got him.
Right.
This is what Perceptor looked like.
In toy form.
Yes.
Back then.
Right.
Compared to today.
Right, and like I said, when the Autobots had a question or something like that, they knew if they went to Perceptor, they was going to kind of get a long, drawn-out, dried explanation. And the Autobots are like, we don't get that technical, just give it to us in layman's terms, and we'll figure it out from there. Because he's excellent at breaking down stuff and getting down to the bare bones, dry facts of what's going on. So he doesn't really have a kind of personality. His hobby is his work. And that's one thing. He's always on the hunt for more knowledge. So he's the scientist. He is the scientist of the Autobots. Perceptor. The Autobot scientist. Means well, but if you follow the IDW,
Yes.
IDW, he takes a very dark turn. It's not like what you see in the cartoons. In the IDW, he becomes something else.
Yes. In the IDW Transformers comics, which we do need to like get back to.
So
Perceptor in the IDW comics is still a scientist, but he's more than a scientist
yeah,
in the IDW comics.
he is. He is. And we'll just leave it at that. Oh man, excuse me. So
And we really do need to like
I heard you. I heard you.
get back to the IDW comics.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So anyway, y'all, this is our review of the G1 Perceptor,
Yes.
where it all started. Where everything come after that as far as Perceptor. So anyway, so Colton, did you like his transformation? Did you like his mode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do. Looked good back then. Still looks good in today's time. Even though his head is not what you expect to see him in the cartoon, it is still a good head sculpt.
But you have to admit, this guy looks better than this guy.
Yes. Because he has a more show accurate head sculpt than the original here.
That is us for our review of Perceptor, the G1 Perceptor. And I don't know how many more Perceptors going to come out. You know, I have not a clue. I know it all started with this guy. And whatever come after that. So we'll have to see.
That's what I was about to say.
So, hey, y'all take care. Thanks for watching. We appreciate y'all. Like I said, bear with us. We're going through a couple of issues trying to get stuff over there to YouTube. It will work. It's just taking longer than what we was thinking. So I got to talk to somebody and see if I can speed up this process, because there's some issues going on our end that either I'm not going off in any of that. But anyway, it's something we will get sorted out. Neither here or there. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Take care of yourselves. Help each other out when you can.
And if you like this video, give us a like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to check out some other videos you may have missed, there's a playlist set up on my YouTube channel. So I think that's about it. So thanks for watching.